This is Open Line on the VOCM Big Land FM radio network.
Welcome back to the show. Let's go to line number 3. Mike, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Paddy. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Listen to a few of your callers. There doesn't seem to be a lot of bouquets going out to the Liberal governments these days. There seems to be issues everywhere, but that's not what I called about. I called, someone passed over to me the recording when Andrew Parsons was on. I don't think it was last week or something. And I sat down and I listened to the recording. I had to listen to it a couple of times, actually. And to say I was disappointed, angered, is an understatement. But
based on what? What did he say that angered you?
Okay, well, I'll get to some of the lies and mistruths first, and how he was talking about the will of the people and democracy and the different avenues people got to go regarding the wind energy projects. And, the will of the people. Well, basically, they've been thrown to the wolves. The only people they get to meet with is people that have a financial interest in winning, like Everwind and World Energy. So, as regards to democracy and stuff, and we just had a bunch of appeals that were rejected by Minister Davis. But, so I don't know what a democracy is doing and how people are having a say. But there's something that was really disturbing to me when I listened about the NL Energy protest, and he was there. And the words, and this is his words, direct quote, extremists and beyond stupid. Extremists and beyond stupid. Well, Paddy, I'm going to tell you some of the people that were there that day. There was 30-plus people there. Leanne and Guy were there from Botwood that moved down from Ontario because they love Newfoundland and they had concerns about the projects in their backyard.
Minister Parsons specifically said some of what is being said is particularly stupid. Not everyone in attendance is stupid.
Well, he called us outside. He said you can go back and listen to the recording. And irregardless, Paddy, extremists and beyond stupid, is that not a page out of Trudeau's book? At least he didn't call us racist, But is he representing us? I'm there. I'm a man that worked 46 years, and I got concerns about the environment. But I'll tell you who else was there. Nadine Telek was there. Marilyn Rowe was there. Brenda Kitchen was there. Anne Fitzpatrick drove in from Buren. A young girl, a 25-year-old girl, drove in the fog and the rain from Point Leamington. Besides all the people from port to port. And I'm going to tell you, for him to address us, if government was doing and the MHAs were listening to the people like they're supposed to be doing and having public meetings, we don't want to meet with Everwind or World Energy. We want to meet with our MHAs and the Premier and Andrew Parsons. That's the people we should be meeting with. And then we show up on the steps, three seniors there in their 70s from Portugal Cove with the rain pouring and their signs because they had serious concerns. And letters after letters wrote to MHAs, unanswered, auto replies. That's what the 30 people were there for. And for Andrew Parsons to address us as extremists and beyond stupid. And I tried to talk to that gentleman. I asked him to come back and speak with us and listen to our concerns. And you know what he done? He bolted into the door like a scared rabbit. And for him to get there and say publicly, and I'm demanding publicly now that he publicly apologize to the people that were there with serious concerns. There was working people, they had to take time off the work. There was people coming in vans and they carpooled and put money together to be there to get some questions answered. And a minister of industry, and I want these words, extremists and beyond stupid. And I'm telling you, that is a disgrace. And regards of arrested, I was the one with the sign in my hand, arrest Andrew Fury, because he should be arrested and Andrew Parsons should be arrested because they done this stuff under a wind moratorium in the secrecy of backroom deals and the public were never involved.
So that's what he made reference to. That's exactly what I was going to say, is, things like the trees and they should be arrested. Arrested for what? Even if people don't like the project, what should anyone be arrested for?
Well, they should be arrested because they're not representing the public or the will of the public or democracy. Now, there's one thing that he did say. The only true sentence that he said on the end of the day. He said, well, if people don't like what government can do, basically what he said was, You put up with us until election time. If you don't like us, vote us out. That was the only truthful statement that he said. But while we're in here, we're going to railroad you. We're going to ignore your concerns. The MHAs are not going to... There's thousands of letters, Paddy. I know for a fact. Thousands of letters that have been wrote to different MHAs and the Premier and Andrew Parsons and Bernard Davis. And they have not been answered. So there's no democracy. It's a dictatorship until the election comes around. So if they can, we got Seamus O'Regan there. We got to bolt this stuff through. We got to get clear of the bureaucratic red tape. No, you don't. You got to listen to the people, see if they want it in their communities, and that's what we put you in there for, and that's called democracy. And what we have there now is about as far away from it. This is what's happening in the federal government, and it's here in the provincial government. We got people in the fisheries are getting on board now. Dave Callahan is getting it. These wind turbines are going to go offshore and destroy our fishery and our whales and our scenery and everything else. These people don't care. These are government subsidies. The rich get richer, and this will bankrupt this province. These here with taxpayer handouts. Well, this is the worst. Muskrat Falls will look like a lemonade stand.
What taxpayer handouts are involved with the wind? As far as I can tell, there was now, Mr. Risley himself said he does not need any government money, but yet secured a $128 million loan from the federal government. There are tax subsidies which are federal. So what provincial monies are we worried about here?
Well, that's only the first handout, Paddy. And then we got the NL Power, Newfoundland Power. We're going to $1 billion worth of diesel generators from when the wind don't blow. So that's another $1 billion. And we've only just stepped into the swimming pool yet. We're not even started.
But what provincial money are we talking about related to these wind projects? Just so I understand where you're coming from.
Okay, well, what I'm assuming that yes, the $138 million is still taxpayers' money, but it's federally, but it's still taxpayers, and it's a loan. So the NL Power, like there's $1 billion worth of diesel generators. Well, who do you think that's going to be passed over to?
Yeah, but that's not.
Why? Hang on, just let me finish. Why are we investing? Like these wind turbines, and you can do the research and stuff. They basically got a shelf life of about 15 years. They'll portray it as 20 to 25 years. They need expensive maintenance, incredibly expensive maintenance, and all of this stuff for a 15-year project, 20-year project. What are we doing with $1 billion worth of diesel generators and polluting the environment after that?
There isn't $1 billion worth of diesel generators, though. And so, but repairs on turbines, that would be on Risley's dime.
The pool is that muddy now, you can't really see that. But I'll tell you something else that I learned, too. When we were out to the Marystown protest, myself and my partner went over to St. Lawrence, where there's actually 9 turbines there. Now, these are only babies, 250 feet. There's 9 of them there. Out of the 9, there was 2 not working and 6 leaking oil all down over the environment and down over the shaft and everything else. I was also over the Fumuse. There was 11 over there. 2 or 3 are not working, and they are in a mess altogether. Leaking oil from the gearboxes all down into the environment. So we got 9 and 11. There's 20 turbines here in this province, and they are in disrepair. So what are we going to, if that's, if the government is this clean energy and stuff, we only got 20 here yet, and they're polluting the environment, and they're in disrepair. Now he wants to put 3,000 or 4,000 on the oil, and another thousands offshore and stuff. Well, boy, if you can't keep up 20, it doesn't make anybody warm and fuzzy that you're going to be able to do the maintenance on 5,000 or 6,000, But
5,000 or 6,000? I mean, I appreciate that people have absolutely valid, legitimate concerns with the projects, but we're not talking about 6,000 turbines. Even though 300 is a lot for the Port-au-Port Peninsula, the geographical footprint that it would incorporate, no argument there. And the $1 billion, inside that figure, there's $527 million of that is going to be for the 8th generating unit at Bay d'Espoir, and the concept of a 150 megawatt diesel generator to be possibly located at Holyrood is nowhere near that amount of money. So I'm not 100% sure where the $1 billion worth of diesel is coming from, and there is not 6,000 turbines. Even if you add up all the projects, it's not that number. Even though, look, again, I'm not going to reject or dismiss people's concerns. And just very quickly before I do have to take a break, I get it. People are frustrated for a variety of reasons, on a variety of levels, on a variety of issues. But do you think that because you disagree with the project constitutes an arrest warrant or someone to actually be arrested because you don't think it's a good idea or you think it's going to be harmful to the environment. I just think that we've gone down a path where it's going to be hard to come back from, because wanting people arrested because you don't think they're doing a good job, is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm telling you, if you've got government, if you've got a premier and a doctor, and if you look at the placements down on the Port Peninsula and what these people are going to have to live with, and environmental damage, the environmental damage that will be sustained down there, the depreciation of the house values, and the destruction of the tourism industry down there, is that not disregard for human life or mental health or public safety? It's definitely it. If government had come out and said, listen, we're going to put 150 turbines in a remote location and we're going to backfeed onto the grid and we'll have a public referendum, because the few that I've seen, the ones that were in St. Lawrence, were pretty much out in the middle of nowhere.
Right, okay, that's all fair enough, but if you're worried about the environment, what difference does it make where they are? Because if you're saying they're leaking oil or lubricants into the earth, then of course if that happens in the middle of nowhere, it's the same impact on the environment as it would be in Port or in Botwood or wherever. So again, the concept of people being arrested is just something that I think it's going to be hard to stuff that toothpaste back into that tube. And as it pertains to, where they are, not so sure that's an issue. But here's something that I find interesting, Mike, is some folks specifically, and not you, because I have no earthly idea where you stand on things like the oil industry, but I've got a couple of people who are distinct supporters of the oil industry and email me about it constantly. But they're also opposed to the wind farms because of environmental concerns. But it's hard to square that circle because we know the impact on the environment that the fossil fuel industry has had, but yet all in for that, but all out for wind. It's just, some of these things are just hard for me to, wrap my mind around and understand the consistency of it. And that's not you, because I have no idea what you think about the oil industry. And I appreciate your time. I'll give you just another 30 seconds because I have to go.
Okay. One answer, and I worked on hydrogen for 11 years. We have millions and millions and millions of cubic meters of natural gas, one of the cleanest burning fuels in the world.
And
we should be taking that resource. It's ready there to use. We can use that for power generation, and it'll be not near the emissions of what they got planned with this stuff. Not near the emissions.
But that's not the government. That's the company. The company's sitting on the gas. The company can produce it if they want.
But if we approached it and made a market for it, it's only 250 kilometres in that there, and then, that I know ExxonMobil, we're talking about putting a compression plant out there and shipping it in and stuff. So it's already our resource. We can work a deal with them, and we're off to the races. Without getting in there. And the other thing too, Paddy, the last thing that I'll say, these turbines have a shelf life. These are millions and millions of dollars worth of turbines. I don't know what one is. It's probably 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. I don't know. But they become useless garbage after 15, 20 years.
Okay.
This is short-term project. Very, very short-term. And we're going all in. We're going all in instead of going long-term.
I appreciate the time, Mike. If the oil companies offshore could find a market and have a business model for the natural gas, they'd be doing something other than re-injecting it into the oil wells themselves to pop the oil up. I got to get to the break. Appreciate the call.
One more second.
Very quickly, Mike.
I'll be waiting for that apology. And all of the people that are involved in these projects, in these groups, we are waiting for that apology publicly, sir.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paddy.
Take care, Mike. Bye-bye.